Hello everybody, this is Conquering History Games, and welcome back to part 4 of my MacArthur's America playthrough. And we're going after the Pacific States pretty hard right now, although maybe a little bit too hard in some of these areas where we're trying to go over a river and into mountains against two divisions. But you know, we've drained them of manpower. There's not really any hope for them. Division training time minus 0.1. Wow, what a bonus. But yeah, it really is just a matter of time. And so what I'm actually considering is, let's see here. We got a little bit over a month until we're done modernizing the guns. And when the war ends, we've got a lot of focuses to do over here. And so I'm thinking, oh, Gandhi took power. I think I'm going to try to rush the GI Bill. I don't think it's going to happen. But we're gonna try to get down here. So we need defensive logistics agencies. Oh, nice planning bonuses. That's pretty good. Oh, the Austrian Empire wants to help me out, of all people. Okay, hey, come on board. You know, a little late to the party, but whatever, right? I think we also need to shift some of these front lines a bit. Yeah, this is a little too stretched out here. We want you, yeah, want nice and tight down here, or right here. Keep heading down here. Now that we got a lot of pardon me. We have lots of this stuff here, the army experience. So let's start preparing for what our divisions are going to be looking like after the war. Yeah, we have our Brazilian volunteers here. They're looking pretty good, as well as what are the MacArthur's militia? Yeah, just standard 10 width stuff. Yeah, so we're gonna just try to get down here as quickly as we can. Get all those land doctrine bonuses, just more. Just keep stacking them. There's the Australian divisions. They're trying to, or volunteers. They're trying to get into position, or are they? No, they're just sitting on their butts over here in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. Clearly, this is an attempt to occupy the land. And yeah, this militia division went a little too far here. Let's get you up here like that, going towards Phoenix. But no, they were able to defeat him. Okay. We're approaching 1938, but it's still too early. Let's get the computing machine things. Is there anybody not moving? 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 of my arrows are firing. Is anybody up for an upgrade? All right, Trust Scott, what can we do with you? Infantry expert, you better believe it. Okay, who else? Garou, infantry expert. Definitely want to keep that up. Who else? Japan is going after Dososasian. They're making their plays. And once again, infantry expert. Let's get him a scavenger while we're at it. All right, so we've got a pretty good crew of generals here. We're really filling up on the experience here. The army experience, so we're going to be able to do some fun stuff. Militarize the WASPs. Congress is debating a bill to militarize the Women Air Force Service Pilots, WASPs, in a similar fashion to the WAC and WAVES. This would require the government to provide the expenses for the WASPs, similar to the other two organizations, instead of having the female pilots themselves pay the expenses. It would not have them fly in combat situations, since that is still the job for the male pilots. Despite this, it is facing quite the pushback from Congress, as many regard the WASPs as not as experienced as male pilots and not suited for the job. The question then is, what shall Congress vote to do? We can get more war support if we militarize them, but it's going to cost us political power and stability. All right, and we can gain political power and stability if we do not militarize them. Okay, we won't. We've got plenty of manpower. We don't need to get the women involved. All right. Yeah, it looks like we're filling in all these gaps here pretty quick. Let's see, can we queue up 5 of these infantry divisions to start filling things in here? I'm sure we're going to lose. Actually, how many of these can we get? Let's get another 24. I'm sure a lot of our militia divisions are going to disappear once the war is over. Now we put ourselves pretty deep in debt on the infantry equipment. Let's just make this a low priority. I'm just queuing that up for later. And now we're getting Lend-Lease, though. Suckers. All right, we can get modern cruisers pretty quick here. Maybe in a year we'll go for that. And let's see, engineering corps. Okay, wait, since I'm going to get a support... Yeah, we're about to get the support stuff, so let's make sure it's going to the right places. Let's head over to Boise. We've almost secured Idaho and its important potato reserves. Okay, we need to... See, here's the problem with AI. I do need to still micromanage it a little bit, so we can kind of speed this along. Alright, they went up to limited conscription, so they do now have some recruitable population, but they've only got 50 divisions, and again, we are tearing through them pretty quickly. Do I still have any militia divisions that are green? No, we got lots of regulars. A lot of people who are trained up. Yeah, nobody's green now, not after this. So how long did this war end up going? It looks like it's going to end up being about a year and a half. Yemen and Tripolitania. Whoa, that's a big Yemen. No faction, huh? I think the Ottoman Empire's got this. Yeah, I don't see them losing here. What is going on in South America? Okay, El Salvador and its national populace are making a play for the Socialist Republic of Honduras. What happened? I thought Socialist Republic of Honduras was the authoritarians. Didn't we just see that? Guatemala is run by radical socialists. Goodness gracious. Go, El Salvador, go. Fight for MacArthur. I mean, for, you know, the good of all North Americans everywhere. That's definitely what I meant to say. I've not forgotten about you, Liberia. There's a reason I'm not dismissing that. I don't want to. Okay, Honduras is now going after Nicaragua again. What is happening? Why is Honduras just committing suicide? Not my problem, I guess. If it's my problem, I'll just come down there and tune their asses up. It's that easy. Yeah, and they're out of manpower again. Cool. And then once we take LA, once we're in California, they're going to start losing all their manpower reserves. I'm sure they're already out of guns. Colombia needs you. Which one is that? Oh, that's war support and stuff like that. As long as they're not getting recruitable population bonuses. Let's see if we can cut through, if we can hop the mountains here, hop the Sierra Nevadas, and get over there. Yeah. Just need to slice them up. Okay, and recon companies, yes. Looking real good right now. We were able to get that other support research happening just in time before the engineering corps was done. Let's get the agency. Look at that, it's only 1938 and we're mostly done with our land doctrine already. This is great. Let's get you all coming up here. Okay. We got stopped right outside of, right outside here. Are there any? Oh, we do need to actually take San Francisco so that we can get their naval port, and then they can't supply everybody else. Okay, let's get you down here to Los Angeles and San Diego. Capturing plenty of infantry equipment. Let's fill up on that. What's outdated? Besides, is there anything besides the fighters outdated? No. Oh yeah, the cruisers. We're gonna want to improve that. So we want the Brooklyn. I think. Is that the one we want? No, this is the one. Improved armored cruisers. Wait. Improved armor. Wait, hold on a sec. I'm a little confused. I haven't memorized the new tree or anything, so. Yeah, the Brooklyn. The Brooklyn's the one we want. Brooklyn! Alright. So, there's a Supreme Court justice in the United States called Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and she's gotten this nickname, the Notorious RBG. I'm not really sure why. I would hardly say she's notorious. Notorious is a really strong word to describe somebody. But I guess it's the three letters thing, so nobody wants to say Ruth Bader Ginsburg, so they just say RBG for short, and then that turned into the Notorious RBG as like a joke thing. But I once saw a clip of her. I've seen a couple actually where she brings this up, where she says, "So do you listen to Notorious B.I.G., who was an American rapper from the 90s?" And she goes, no, not really, but we do have something in common. We're both from Brooklyn. So I just think that's kind of funny. All right. So, okay, Sacramento is the only one that's left down here. Yeah, we've got LA, so we definitely need Sacramento in order to get the win. Actually, maybe not. If we take Salem here, we might not have to capitulate Sacramento. Maybe the people in that city will just, yep, yeah, they just surrendered. They knew what was up. All right, and the Civil War is over. Awesome. September 1938. So yeah, it took about, what was it, about a year and a half? Okay, great. So first thing I need to do is I need to check. We have no way of getting down to Liberia right now. Let's just do this for the moment while I think about how I'm going to get down there. They've got to be in C. Let's do something like that. Obviously, Liberia does not have any sort of they're not in a faction. We've got the war goal on them. So I need to start thinking about range. So probably submarines are in my future. Thinking some modified submarines. Got a decent amount of naval experience, but the end of the Second American Civil War. The enemies of America have been destroyed. Once again, the South has been pacified and the syndicalist menace has been suppressed. The threats to the American way of life have been destroyed, and the great system designed so wisely by the Founding Fathers has survived another threat. Now across the country, the people can rejoice and celebrate a new era of peace. Down with the traitors, up with the stars. Okay, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Gain national spirit, recovering from the Civil War, minus 50% stability. So that's going to put me at 0. Actually, probably worse than that, because I'm probably going to lose some. I'm probably going to lose the fighting for America national spirit, so I'll be in the negatives. War support, minus 60%. Recruitable population factor, minus 60%. Economic devastation is going to be minus 15% to production efficiency cap, factory output, and construction speed. We've also got socialist resistance, which is going to lower recruitable population, increase my consumer good factories, lower war support, lower stability, lower factory output, and then longest resistance is going to do the same thing. Okay, but the good news is we're going to be done here. So we got the Defense Logistics Agency at least. So, okay, let's take a moment here to take stock of what exactly is going on in the world. America is reunited. At long last, America has been reunited. We stretch once again from sea to shining sea. The traitors to the country have been destroyed, and the stars and stripes now fly proudly from coast to coast, knowing that liberty is secured for all, a more perfect union. I'm sorry, did we take Hawaii back and nobody told me? What is that about? Oh, you know what? They might have done that thing where they just joined the Pacific States and I just wasn't paying attention. That used to be something pre-0.8. Maybe they kept that. Okay, so we're going to get rid of the naval battle results. We now have new focuses available to us. The war is over, so we now have got victory in the Civil War. Separatists have again failed in their mission to destroy the Union of the United States of America. Although both radical socialists and populists dug into our power base, we have proven the power of legitimate government once more. The would-be dictators Reed and Long are no longer welcome in America. So, okay, we got a lot of factories available, and we need to be thinking about what we're going to do. All right, we have no new decisions. I just like to sometimes check that after big events because I never know what exactly the team has incorporated. So we're gonna keep working on all this, build a lot of infrastructure up here, and yeah, just think about what we're gonna do. Looks like a bunch of our divisions are gone now. Let's get everybody put together and start separating people. All right, we have our Filipino forces here. I guess let's send them back home for right now. Wait a minute. It's expeditionary forces. Wait, what? The Philippines is not a part of us anymore. I don't know about that. I do not know about that. Longest bombing. Longest supporters of Long and his ideals have targeted an arms factory in upstate New York, causing a great deal of damage and the loss of many lives. The upstate New York National Guard are on the scene and claim they are closer to catching the ringleaders behind the Catholic terrorists than they were before. Catholic terrorists? That's weird. Anyway, let's keep separating this. So we have a Marine here, and I guess I just keep the volunteers or something. We got First Cav. We've got no motorized. Okay, so we've got a lot of reorganizing to do here. Lots of stuff to do. Now, this actually should be really interesting. So I think it's kind of cool that the United States now seems to go through several phases. It's basically or like it's like lots of story phases. It's like chapters in a book. So the first one is pre-1936 election. Then there's the Civil War. Then there's recovery, and then there's once again walking out on the world stage. Syndicalist bombing. All right, so yeah, that's the resistance, which I think there is something for that. I think there's a focus for that. Rehabilitation, maybe, or no? We got trials here. Fate of the Unions. We'll see. We'll see. Well, first off, we're of course, the name of the series is MacArthur's America. We are going to declare the American Caesar. Democracy triumphs. Maybe another day, but not today. All right, so we have these militia. What we're going to do is we're going to change all these National Guardsmen into regular infantry divisions, which I know is going to put me really in the hole on infantry division, but it's going to be a little while before we go back out into the world to fight. So actually, we need to do. Let's make sure we got the 15 here. I need to switch around a lot of these. Are we not building any support equipment? Oh my goodness gracious! Let's fix that. Let's bring them up here. Something. Yeah, I think these are the priorities I want. Okay, and we need to recover now. All right, victory in the Civil War. Okay, wait. MacArthur's power. With our victory in the Civil War, a question must be decided upon. Should Douglas MacArthur give up his power and ensure a peaceful transition of power, or should he remain in control to protect America? He will remain in power, so this is going to lower my stability. Change the popularity of paternal autocrats. So they get a little more popular. I'm still at only 17%. So actually, whenever I select a focus now, I'm losing political power. President MacArthur has proclaimed that he would not secede to partisans that caused the Civil War. His American junta promises a national restoration and adoption of functional democracy as MacArthur sees it. Elimination of unnecessary politicians and appointment of more competent officials will bridge the gap between people and politics. So we bypass that. So we got a lot of things here. Root out traitors and destroy terrorists. But, a research slot. That's nice. But what do we got to do first? The research slot, I think, can wait. Yeah, it definitely can wait. Let's begin Reconstruction. The nation has suffered much before this war started. It is both a monumental task and an opportunity to unify transportation networks and push through bolder economic ideas to elevate American industry above this ailing world. So let's come down to the Fate of the Unions event and see if that's going to help us. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now, coming over here to production, yeah, I'm going to switch. We're going to switch one of these over to the submarines, and we're going to have you dropped in Florida. So make sure you're in the Atlantic, and we'll start thinking about what we're going to do down there. Now, when can we... Where's our submarines? Wait, destroyers? Oh, they're over here on the right. Okay. So our next... Dang it. 216 days to get the Perch. It's got a max range of 5,500 kilometers. Okay, so let's wait a little while. Maybe in 1939 we'll research that. And then we will use our Navy experience to then increase its range a little bit more. I need to decide between Airland Battle and Shock and Awe. But for right now, let's come over here to the industry. It's a little bit ahead of time, but I think we need all the industry we can get, because I need to fill up on this infantry equipment. Also, let's duplicate and create a 40 width, or maybe even something a little more than that. Actually, you know what? Let's reset this. We're going to duplicate. I am going to make a little something that I've wanted to try for a long time. And usually I like to only experiment with divisions in Equestria at War, because I find Equestria at War is just a better... like, they have a stronger AI. Let's try something like that. Organization's still above 30, which I like. Whoops. No. Something like that. Still above 30, so that's good. Now, this probably is a bad idea, especially because I didn't go with the line artillery increases. But this is just a little something crazy I want to try. Right, something like this, and we're gonna actually change this up later, as you will see as we once we work on some other stuff. So that's something I'm probably gonna try out later, which I really should have in hindsight done the line artillery stuff. Oh yeah, I'm still organizing these divisions too. So this is going to be 1st Army, the White House, and Xanadu. A surprising amount of support came from the pages in the many Hearst newspapers that dot America. These papers drew up the image of MacArthur as the heroic Cincinnatus hearing the call to save the Republic from certain destruction, a beacon for MacArthur's allies in the creation of an almost mythical personage through film and newspaper cartoons. Hearst has served as a stabilizing factor to the ship of the state. Even Hearst's attacks on radical unions and populists seem to echo the words of MacArthur's radio speeches. We appreciate your support, and I got more popular. Sweet. Okay, so we've got those 24 set up. We can't bring out any more right now. But we are going to... Yeah, let's just do that. You know what? Let's just unify everybody here. Yeah, 1st Cav, sorry, but there's no sense in having just one cavalry division. Let's bring you over here. We don't need the cavalry guy anymore. Let's switch him over to John Lee. All right, we're done beginning Reconstruction, which is going to lower our military factory construction speed, but everything's going to get repaired faster now. It is time for Congress to hear the testimony of the rebellious companies. Some are advocating for just their executives to resign, while others insist on piercing the corporate veil. This would allow the government to prosecute individual shareholders as responsible for decisions made. Trials concerning the companies that supported the rebels and traitors shall begin. So there's something interesting with that particular focus that I'm going to talk about when we're done with it, but I actually think it's way too strong. That's just me personally. I think it's way too strong. And there's a personal rule that I'm going to impose on myself in order to, I think, nerf the OP-ness. Although it might have been changed since Kaiserreich came out, like since 0.8 officially came out. We'll just have to wait and see. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and set this up, the perch. Let's read what it says also. The gains made by some earlier designs in extending underwater range speed and overall ability led to a turn away from cruiser types back to vessels with greater emphasis on underwater capabilities, still limited in submerged duration, range, speed, and remain vulnerable when surfaced, especially to aircraft. See, we're just going to be building some submarines to go get Liberia back, that's all. NCAA and FBI defames socialists. A large part of the NCAA's activities were taken up by litigation in favor of African American rights during the 1930s. This was due to the retreating strength of the black vote and the diminishing ability of African Americans to reach office after Plessy v. Ferguson. That's the separate but equal Supreme Court decision. This avenue is also pursued by the syndicalist-aligned International Labor Defense, who countered the NCAA-CP for a decade in competition for the hearts of black voters. Seeing no other option and being unwilling to ever compromise with socialists, NAACP leader Walter Francis White has decided to cooperate with the FBI in an anti-socialist PR campaign. Whether this truly motivates civil rights or further dilutes the current remains to be seen. So be it. So there's a shift from syndicalists to social liberals. You see, I like that. I like those kind of events. You see, that had nothing to do with my own personal popularity as a paternal autocrat. But it was a little event that just said, black voters are switching from supporting socialism to just being more moderately liberal. And so there was a popularity shift there that had nothing to do with me and like the party that I am in the game or whatever. But that's, yeah, I really like those kinds of events, just telling a narrative of what's happening in the United States post-war, post-Civil War. All right, anyway, enough of me going on and on. So we got the Filipino, I'm going to call this military in exile, because you know what? These guys are stranded. They can't go back home now. So we need to get them back home at some point. We're going to put, who are we going to put in charge of these people? Let's put Harding in charge of them. They are going to be scavengers, and I'm thinking camouflage experts as well. We're going to take them back home at some point to the Philippines. So as far as the deploying units goes, not everybody's quite ready there, so we're going to wait on that. And we've got our Marines. Let's get them organized. So for the Marines, actually we're just going to have them fight side by side. They're gonna join the Filipinos. Boy, we have a small army now, though, don't we? And we got to work on this encryption and decryption because it was just pathetic during the war. I don't remember because I couldn't see any of the CSA's divisions, and I'm trying to remember if they have a minister that increases their encryption and decryption or something. So, It is time for Congress to hear the testimony of rebellious unions. Some are calling for just their chair people to resign, while others insist on collecting transcripts of union meetings, paving the way for prosecuting all active members. I'm waiting for the... okay, so we should be getting the events about the trials here soon. Our finest hour... oh, that's just the Winston Churchill thing. So while we wait to see what is going to happen next, let's come over here on the border with Mexico, because you never know when they're going to try something on us. Okay, so we got our big Bertha divisions down here. The new normal in America. When General MacArthur announced that he would not step down as leader those years ago, it was under the pretense of emergency. At the time, hundreds of thousands of Americans were unaccounted for. Radicals prowled the countryside, funding their politics with looted money, and the Democratic pillar was unready to hold up the state. These past few years have seen a great many galvanized into hardy MacArthurites, and a new flavor of politician has emerged in the House of Representatives. These new congressmen see the need for an integral military role to check and nurture the business environment and ensure the rights of citizens cannot be infringed due to gridlock. Let freedom ring, so it looks like some paternal autocratic ministers come in charge, or let freedom ring, lose political power. Okay, why would I ever do the second one? We will just incorporate them into the government. So let's see here. We've got Douglas MacArthur, who is lowering our daily political power game, but we get more resources. John Davison Rockefeller Jr., Cloak and Dagger Schemer, so that's the business aspect there. Also lowering our daily political power game, but increasing decryption. Robert Lovett. Robert Lovett. Why does that sound familiar to me? Robert Lovett. Well, anyway, he's giving us, he's a military entrepreneur, giving us faster construction speed on our military factories, more production efficiency cap, and more war support as well. Fall of Rio de Janeiro. Did the war already begin down here? Oh my goodness, yeah. So the Brazilians who saved us have fallen to the Argentinians. Sorry, Brazil. We'd help you, but we got ours. Fuck you. No, that's really screwed up. I really should curse less. But man, that Robert Lovett. I think he's an El Pasoan. God, that sounds familiar. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll probably look it up in between episodes and tell you who he was. But that is definitely going to bug me. All right, so we're going to call this the Trial of the Heavy Infantry. Okay, so here we go. Here's the first trial. So this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So let's first read the event. Trial of the Heavy Equipment Companies. A number of heavy equipment companies have fought for the various traitors and rebels against America. Thus, a hearing has been brought before Congress to decide their fate. Shall we allow them to operate again, or shall they be regarded as traitors and treated as such? Now, let's just check what these... oh, okay. Oh, okay, no. Okay, so he fixed it. Not he fixed it. Well, the Kaiserreich team fixed it. Okay, so I'm seeing here it says, allow them to operate again, new companies shall be available, and then the alternative is they are traitors and should be treated as such. All right, so this is, I guess they, well, I don't want to say it was my suggestion, but this was just an idea that I pitched. I pitched a couple of ideas to the guy who does the United States, Hercules. And you see, the way it worked before is allowing them to operate again did nothing. And then if you said they are traitors and should be treated as such, you would get this political power and stability. So there was never a reason to not take they are traitors and should be treated as such. But I guess if you allow them to operate again, you'll then have access to the different companies. So, okay, now that is much better. Now another thing that like I had suggested is like maybe make one of them stability, one of them political power or whatever. So I'm not super interested, honestly, in the companies. I want to get up to partial mobilization. So let's do... okay, trial of the heavy equipment. Yeah, these ones we're gonna say they're traitors. Give us that political power, especially because we're actually getting negative every day. Trial of the weapons companies. Yeah, these ones we will allow to operate. So I should have some of them available to me. Now, we are going to, we need to catch back up. I want to get down to rocket artillery because I want to start incorporating those into my divisions as well. Longest sabotage railways. Yeah, we're probably going to be seeing those things pretty regularly. So once we're done with Fate of the Unions, I want to hold on for a little bit, queue up some political power, and then we're going to switch up to partial mobilization. Pardon me, that's something in my throat there. Okay, Fate of the Unions is done. Let's pick up that 5th research slot real quick and keep moving. Fate of the unions? Oh, these have got to go. With the Civil War over and Reconstruction now underway, the question of trade unions has been brought up. Some think that we should promote trade unions, more liberal and anti-syndicalists as a ward against the influence of syndicalism. Others, however, regard all trade unions as traitors to the country and should be outlawed. What should be done? We're going to outlaw everything. All of it's gone. Get out of here. MacArthur has no room for Cindy's and wannabe Siddies. That's all it is. They're just, geez, I'm like, what is up with my tongue today? But there's only two types. There's the Cindy trade unions, and then the ones who are hiding it. All right, so we got the partial mobilization now. Okay, that should be doing some wonders for my economy. Also, why am I trading for all this tungsten that I don't need to be trading for? Muscat joined the Entente. Trial of the industrial companies. Do I want industry? Yeah, we'll let them operate. Okay, Nepalese Socialist Republic. Commune. Yeah, let's kind of just take a look at what's going on in the rest of the world. Commune is under Gandhi. There's some sort of fight. Okay, looks like Feng Tian. Yeah, it's that war between the Co-Prosperity Sphere and the Reichspakt. All right. And what is this? What's out of date? Oh, my rifles. Yeah. Switch those out. 2 million in reserve, though. Oh, we're demobilizing every day right now. Yeah, we've got a lot of negative things happening. 38% effective total manpower. We're definitely going to have to do something about that. But we have a lot to do here. Now, we cannot go over to the Monroe Doctrine just yet because we're going to need more war support again before we can start thinking about foreign policies, because obviously we just had this horrific civil war that we had to fight through. Look at some of these names. Bloodfire Division, Battle Axe, Argonauts. Wow, what a name, Argonauts. Red Circle, Indian Head. Oh, those, we already knew those. Rattlesnake, Red Devils. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. These guys are all vets. Nice. So I'm just keeping these guys along Mexico. Trial of the aviation companies. I don't really care about the aviation ones, so those ones we're going to call them traders. And, okay, for the industry company, yeah, because we allowed it. I think that's where we were able to get all this stuff available. So, I think we might do U.S. Steel. Yeah, let's do U.S. Steel. And got that 5th slot. Okay, now we're going to... What do we want to do here? We gotta root out some traders. Root out traders and destroy terrorists. Then we got some war support over here, war support over here, war support here. Okay, so we're probably gonna root out the traders and then come down here down to loyal to the flag, and that should allow us to open up the Monroe Doctrine and start getting access to more decisions. So our intelligence services have identified the enablers of radicalism and greed in America. They are the disloyal prohibitionists, Grangers, holy rollers, what is with my tongue today, and foreigners that have enabled the AFP and SPA to grow. These organizations have been rightfully banned for their implicit betrayal. Okay. And let me just pick one more. I need to choose some of these directions already. Does any of this increase the range? No. So it's 1939. Yeah, let's keep working on the industry. And I think that's quite enough for today. Thanks for joining me. I am Conquering History Games and Trial of the Navy Companies. You know what? They're traders. Okay, wait a second. Real quick. Let's get some cores back here. All right, we're going to rebuild the Steel Belt and Pacific Coast. And in the next episode, we are... Well, I really don't know who I'm going to go after. Obviously, we have some goals here. We want to go back to the Philippines because, well, we have to return these men home. You know, the real military... Like, what is this social liberal crap? No. Unacceptable. These men did not fight for a paternal autocratic government so that their homeland could go social liberal. These men, these 3 divisions of men here have seen the light, and we will take it to the Philippines. So, of course, we want to do that. I kind of feel a slight obligation to probably restore Brazil at some point because it's clearly losing. And what's going on down here in Central America? Oh, my goodness. We've got radical socialists down here. We got radical socialists in Mexico. We got a lot to do. Canada? I don't know. Canada's market liberal, but on the other hand, they did not fuck with us, so They stayed out of it. They sent us volunteers. So that's a pretty strong argument, I think, for joining the Entente right now. Maybe we'll just do our own faction. I'm not so sure. And the Philippines aren't in anybody's faction, right? Okay, cool. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm Conquering History Games. I'll see you all in the next episode. I hope you've been enjoying the series. I know I have. And yeah, let's see what happens as the sleeping giant has awoken. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.